Janice, can you tell me what initially influenced you to pursue the creative path as your full-time job?
I was always, from a young age, I was always creative. I always knew I would go into some sort of creative career. And then when I finished school, I went into NCAD and did the 4th year where we did everything. And we had to specialise then in 2nd year, and I went into craft metal because I really loved working with metal. And I didn't last there though. I didn't enjoy college. It wasn't technical enough for me, so I left after 2nd year and I went off to Australia for a year just to live life, I suppose. Came back, and when I came back, I'd gone back to a previous job that I'd had before and heard about an apprenticeship. So I ended up going for this apprenticeship, and when I went for it, they were like, no, we don't take women on in the workshop. And this was in 1999, so it wasn't like, it was very surprising to hear that. But they offered me a different job in a different area, so I was like, okay, look, I'll just get my foot in the door. And ended up there for a couple of years, and then I heard about the Design and Craft Council's course in Kilkenny, so I left that job and went down to Kilkenny, trained for 2 years, came back to Dublin, went into the jewellery trade then, and kind of never really looked back. And I worked with that company. I actually ended up back in the company that said they didn't take women on in the workshop, and then ended up in the workshop. And when I got pregnant, I got made redundant. So after that then, I just set up my own business. So that was 15 years ago, yeah.
What a journey.
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me what's your favourite part about your work?
The favourite part is, I shouldn't really have to think about that, but I absolutely love making stuff.
Yeah.
I love creating from scratch especially. I like being able to make stuff that nobody else has. I like interacting with people. I like hearing the story. I love doing the remodelling stuff when people come to me with family heirlooms and they want to make something new from that. That kind of work I love doing because it's very special, and you know that that piece is going to go on for generations.
I love seeing that content on your Instagram when you melt things and create new one and you tell a bit of a story.
I try. I mean, it's kind of hard to do the content and work on the bench as well because it really disrupts your flow. Things take longer as well. So yeah, but I just love doing that kind of stuff. I love working with gemstones. I love letting gemstones kind of decide what the piece is going to be like. I don't do nearly enough of that stuff, obviously because the other stuff pays the bills. So I try to kind of set a bit of time aside for myself every now and then just to make something that I want to make, and then I end up keeping it and not selling it.
It's too pretty.
I have a big box of stuff there that I'm like, no, that's not going anywhere.
I love your collection of books here.
Yeah,
if I can see
an eclectic collection.
There's tattoos and alchemy and mysticism, and like I'm very drawn to that, witchcraft and tarot. It looks like my bookshelf at home.
I think it literally describes me, I suppose.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, can you tell me what inspires you? I can see the wide range of influences.
Obviously I love nature. Like nature would be my kind of main inspiration. I love textures. I love intricate hidden things. I love colour. Like I love colours. I know you wouldn't think it to look at what I'm wearing because I always wear black, but I love colours. I love colour contrasts. I try to kind of bring that into the stuff that I make myself in contrast and colours with gemstones and stuff like that. I love organic stuff. Like if someone came to me and wanted something symmetrical, I'd be like, no thanks. Like I'd send them, I'd give them the name of someone else to do because it's just not what I do. Organic stuff, I love organic stuff. That's why I love working with wax. Yeah, I just take inspiration from everything. I know everybody says that, but everything around me, like it's little things you notice. Like my friends, I'd often stop and start taking pictures of something really small on the ground or something. My friends would be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, it's that kind of stuff. Like I just notice things that kind of mundane things that people wouldn't really. I think that's most creative people though. Like you're just drawn to things that most people wouldn't really notice.
And that's, I think, the beauty of it, that we're inspired by the world around us, but yet our brains are so unique and we see things differently. Can you describe the feeling when you create? What's going on inside of your head or inside of your body?
When I'm actually sitting down creating, it's like every other time of the day, my brain doesn't stop. It's just constant chatter, constant, like, I can't even describe it. It's like when I'm sitting down at the bench, I don't really, it's like it just switches off and I'm just focusing on what I'm doing. It's probably the only time I do that. Every other time it's like blah, 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 in my head, like just constant stream of thoughts, like going from one thing to another, random stuff that like has no relevance to what I'm actually doing. But when I'm sitting at the bench, that kind of quietens down. It's hard to explain.
I can relate,
probably,
and I feel like people who create can probably know that feeling. It's kind of blissful.
It's just like, it's like white noise. It's like
The surroundings, it could be quite overwhelming, the chatter, that constant.
It's kind of like going into a really busy pub or something, and that's your normal kind of day to day. But then when you're sitting down, it's like going into an empty room with nobody there. And I know some people aren't comfortable with that, but I savour it, and I suppose I crave it sometimes. Like sometimes on my day off, I'm kind of like, I'll just go into work. Do you know what I mean? Like this is my kind of safe haven. On my days off, because I love it in here. Like I kind of prefer being here than I do at home. If my workshop was at home, that would be ideal. I just feel safe here, if that makes sense. Not that I don't feel safe at home. It's just when you're at home, there's always other stuff to do, and it's not stuff that you enjoy doing. So, but when you're in work, I think I'm very blessed in that I have been able to make a living from something that I really love doing. And I think, you know, when you find your happy place in that, it's a really good thing. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, because, you know, and I would have done it myself prior to setting up business. You're doing jobs that you don't really like, but you have to do it, obviously, because you have to pay bills and everything. But when you set up a business and it becomes successful, I suppose, to a certain extent, and when I say successful, it just means that I can pay the bills and I can support myself and my son. It's not that I'm making €1 million or anything like that, but I live a comfortable, simple life, and there's a lot to be said for that.
Before you figured out that peaceful headspace while creating, how did you deal with your emotions? How did you deal with stress?
I probably didn't. I do have bad days, but I think when I was younger, I didn't deal with it, especially when I was working for other people. Like when I look back now, I kind of laugh about it now. It's I know a lot of people are saying, oh, I've been diagnosed with late diagnosed ADHD, and you know, like when you kind of look at them and go, yeah, that kind of makes sense. When you look back on your life, you're kind of going, oh, right, okay. When I was younger, I didn't deal with it. I drank a lot, I partied a lot, I did things I probably shouldn't have done. And then obviously when I had my son, things quietened down, and I set up my business a year after I had him. And it was great in that I was able to work around him. It's something I'll always treasure, because the thoughts of having to have someone else raise him I would have struggled with that. So it was only when I did try to go back to work, and I did kind of get work for other people, I really struggled when I was kind of like, this is not for me. It's not the same, like creating someone else's work is not the same as creating your own, and you don't get that peace, I suppose. And I've forgotten the question.
How did you deal with stress before?
Stress, I used to drink a lot. Prior to my son, I used to drink a lot, and I party a lot, like I'd be out a lot. That was kind of my way of dealing with that. It was only after I had my son I was kind of going, Jesus, I don't think I'd ever go back to that. And even now, like I might go out once every couple of months, but I just couldn't go back to that. It's kind of enlightening in a way, and I found the older I get, the more I kind of look back on, do you know what I mean, things make a lot of sense. Why I was the way I was. You kind of learn a lot more about yourself. Now obviously a couple of years ago I had a really bad couple of years, and thankfully this year I came out of that, but that was a lot to do with perimenopause and a load of other stuff. So it's always kind of waves, it's never straight.
And you've mentioned your late diagnosis with ADHD. Was that around perimenopause symptoms? I
haven't actually been officially diagnosed. Like I had a bit of a mental breakdown. It kind of started during COVID. There was a lot going on. I'd had an ectopic pregnancy. Just a lot changed for me during COVID, and it's only kind of this year I looked back and realised that a lot of what I was going through was perimenopause related. Perimenopause exacerbated any kind of ADHD stuff that I had. My mental health declined really, really badly, and I ended up being referred to a mental health clinic, and I attended there for a couple of years, but thankfully this year has been great. Mentally, everything kind of cleared, and obviously HRT helped as well, but I don't think a lot of women realise how much perimenopause affects you mentally. I mean, there's the physical stuff, but the mental stuff is, I think, 10 times worse.
I'm not looking forward to it.
No, I'm 48 this year, and when I look back, I probably should have started HRT maybe 5 years ago, because the symptoms were there, but I didn't really know anything about perimenopause. It's not even something I would have thought about. It's kind of like for old people. I know when I say old people, like I'm an old people, but
No, you're not.
no, you know what I mean. Like
When you're 18, you
when
think,
you're
"Oh, it's
when
old
you're like
people."
25, 30, like 40, 45 is old. You know, like so now I'm old, not old, but do you know what I mean? It's perimenopause is not something that's now it seems to be spoken about a lot more, but 10, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have even heard the word. Perimenopause and ADHD, everybody's talking about it now, and it's absolutely brilliant that everybody's talking about it now, because a lot of people are going, oh yeah, that's what was wrong with me. Do you know what I mean? And perimenopause and ADHD together, like I have so many friends, creative friends, and we're all kind of in the same boat.
And it's interesting, the awareness now we have about neurodiversity and how different we are in the past. I wasn't diagnosed at all or even acknowledged.
No. It's good that it's kind of becoming mainstream now, where like people learn to cope with it differently, and look, I think a lot of people realise like I don't fit into normal society, and that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. You just find whatever works for you. Do you know what I mean? I never felt like, my whole life I never felt like I fit in anywhere. I still don't, but I'm okay with it now, whereas when I was younger I couldn't understand. I just couldn't. I was like, why am I normal? Why can't I just do what everybody else does? But it's just not where I was supposed to be. Like it doesn't suit certain people, and that's okay.
Okay, another question. Some of the listeners would say to themselves, I'm not creative.
Everybody's creative.
What would you say?
Everybody is creative. Don't think about it so much.
I think it's in our core, but
Yeah, everybody's creative. When you write your name on a piece of paper, that's creative. When you cook a meal, that's creative. When you get dressed in the morning, that's creative. Everything you do is creative. It might not be conscious, but it is there. Like everybody is creative. I mean, you might not be Michelangelo and be able to paint an amazing picture. Everybody's creative.